Welcome to episode 9 of the Boot Nerds podcast. Jay, what's up?
It's a pleasure to be back, guys. All good here. Josh, you good?
Great. Loving life.
Loving life. That's pretty important. So we got a pretty big topic for people today, right?
Yeah, I think everyone's going to have a pretty strong opinion on this. Curious to hear what everyone thinks, but let's not spoil it right off the bat. I think what we should mention is that if you guys enjoy the Boot Nerds podcast, it would really be appreciative if you could support these videos with a like. Helps us out tremendously. And if you could ask a question that we might potentially answer in the next episode, leave it down below in the comments because we do a Q&A section in every one of these podcasts. So any questions, ask them.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're basically here to answer your questions and talk about all the things you want to hear us talk about if we were just sat with you in a room and two guys over coffee. So, two boot nerds.
Talking about football boots.
Yeah, I don't think many normal guys actually
do
that over coffee ever. But we should drink some coffee. I know you're Canadian. You must love your Tim Hortons. Why are you not drinking Tim Hortons?
Jay, I hate Tim Hortons.
Really?
And I know that sounds terrible.
Are you not Canadian?
I don't hate. Okay, I shouldn't say I hate Tim Hortons. I don't drink Tim Hortons coffee.
Okay, fair enough.
It's really not my thing.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't drink coffee. I'm not grown up yet, I guess. 30 years and I'm still working on it, but hey, what do you know? What do you know?
You'll get there. You'll get there. Also, a lot of questions about the audio only versions of the podcast. If you go to bootnerds.com, you can listen to it straight on the website, but there's also the Spotify version, the Apple Podcast version.
Yeah.
Jay, help me out. There's it's on all the platforms.
I listen to it on Spotify. Yep, I listen to my own podcast, but I listen to it on Spotify. It's easy to find. You can also actually go in and subscribe there. So subscribe everywhere. That's good. Tell your mom, tell your friends. Go ask some questions. And help us help you.
Okay, cool. That's all out of the way. Let's get into the topic. Jay,
exactly. The big topic, the topic everyone's talking about, everyone has an opinion on. Who is better? Who is the GOAT of football? Is it Lionel Messi or is it Cristiano Ronaldo? And we discussed before we started shooting that, actually it's getting a little bit tiresome to constantly talk about this, right? But we saw in midweek that people have been talking about for a couple of months now that maybe even more that okay, maybe it's Messi, but now Ronaldo just came back with a blast and said, "Yo, I'm still relevant. I'm still here." And it's like it's coming a bit in waves. Who the public opinion is leaning towards, right? Who is the better? It often comes, just after a hat trick or something, and then Ronaldo scored a hat trick. He is the best ever. What do you think?
I have never been a sports fan, not just with football, but any sport period, where I've felt so strongly about one player that I hated anyone else. And I think most people kind of consider Ronaldo and Messi to be almost rivals, which I guess they are. Statistically, they're rivals. But I don't know. I don't necessarily get this vibe that they like hate each other. So I kind of feel the same way, where it's like I really enjoy watching both of them, and I don't either like extremely love or really hate one over the other. Okay. They're such different players. I think that's the weird part about this, right? Obviously, they're statistically similar in regards to the amount of goals that they score. That is just ridiculous. And the length of time they've done it for, also ridiculous. I saw this stat on Instagram the other day where it was the amount of goals scored in the Champions League after the age of 30. And it was Cristiano Ronaldo with 51 goals. And then the next closest guy was Ibrahimovic with 24. Like, that's a ridiculous stat.
It's insane, man. It's insane. And just, that those two are above 50 hat-tricks in their careers. It's like that it shouldn't be possible. But I kind of know what you're saying in the sense that, they don't seem like they really have a strong dislike towards one another. It's not, they never really clash in matches. And from what I've read and heard, it's like they actually talk outside of the pitch. It's like they recognize that the only other human being on planet Earth who will understand the position they're in is the other guy. So it seems like there's some sort of understanding between the two of them that they are two of the greatest footballers we've ever seen, and that they have something in common there. But I also, of course, do think that they see each other as rivals because the other guy is standing in the way of them being, should we say, proclaimed as the single best footballer ever.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that if you're going to compare the two, the way they play, the amount of goals they score, you can't really separate them on that. I think you have to go off of who's won more. That seems to be it. Well, the way I look at it is this. Cristiano Ronaldo obviously has been extremely successful at the club level, but so is Messi.
Yeah.
But then I think when it comes to international play, you kind of have to give the edge to Ronaldo there.
Sure. I mean, you're right. Yes, he has actually won an international tournament. He has, yeah. But does that make him the greatest player ever? I mean, are trophies in such a football is a team sport, right? Do trophies necessarily paint a representative image of who the best player ever is? Do you know what I mean?
I think at a certain point, when you're talking about the best player ever, I think it has to matter. If you're talking about the best player right now, maybe not so much.
But none of them have.
And I don't know how much you watch other sports at all.
Not at all.
But if you watch basketball as an example, you have the guy who wins the MVP of the season, which last year it was James Harden. Okay. And it could potentially be James Harden this year again. They basically did nothing in the playoffs and came nowhere near winning last year. But he's the MVP of the league.
Okay.
So I think what I'm getting at here is like when you're talking about the greatest player of all time, obviously you have to have the statistics, but I think winning is ultimately the most important thing as well. Because if you scored hundreds of goals throughout your career and you never won anything,
Sure. Okay. I'm with you there. But let's just put it like this: neither Messi or Ronaldo have won the World Cup. Does this make them? Does this mean that Maradona and Pele are the greatest ever? Because they have won a World Cup, potentially also playing with a better team or better teams, winning the World Cup. Yeah, they might have been the big factors in their country winning those World Cups, but does that have to be the downfall of Ronaldo and Messi? I'm not necessarily so sure. I'm more like looking into who is the standout footballer from what I've seen in my 30 years of watching football. Well, 25 maybe. I'm not that old, but I had a discussion with a friend the other day, and we kind of came to the conclusion that Messi is probably the most aesthetically pleasing player we've ever seen. Like he just looks on a completely different level to everyone else, and he does things that you can't almost comprehend how he's capable of doing these things. And he's just, every time he does something good with the ball, you can just sit back and clap and enjoy his absolute genius on the ball. But if I were to take one of those two players in an important match, a final, I would take Cristiano Ronaldo, because he just has that thing. You always know on the big occasions, Ronaldo shows up. Are you the best ever if you're a big game player? I'm not so sure about that either. But it's a funny distinction, right? Because Ronaldo isn't all about the fancy stepovers that much anymore. Whereas Messi is just he's a joy to behold every time he has the ball.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point in terms of, I guess, comparing the two players. Yeah, Messi does things that only Messi seems to be able to do.
Yeah.
Like you can't go out there with any amount of practice and do those things. He's special in that way. Where Cristiano Ronaldo is one of those players where he, especially in the later years of his career, while the goals haven't really slowed down, his style of play has definitely changed. You're right. He doesn't do the long dribbles. He doesn't do the step overs. He's not really the fancy player that perhaps got him so much notoriety in the first place, that really, I guess, drew the attention from the younger crowd. Mm-hmm. But the next thing he's put the ball in the back of the net. Like it's just, he just comes out of nowhere and he scores a goal.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, yeah. Then against Atletico, the third goal for the hat trick was a penalty, but he still stepped up and slotted home, and we all knew watching that he was gonna score that penalty. And we had an interview with him where Jolta asked him if he had deliberately changed his game as he was getting older, and he said that he did change his game from he could still dribble in his own words, but that he actually consciously changed the way he approaches games because he knows what his values to the team are right now, and that he is just super deadly as a goal scorer, and I think you gotta appreciate we often talk about Messi being this genius with like godlike intelligence on the pitch. You also got to appreciate that Ronaldo is more than just a flashy winger who's always there to do tap-in goals or headed goals, because that takes so much more than most people might recognize to always be in the right place at the right time. So he's got the poacher's instinct, the number 9 instinct, but he can just do so much more on top of that.
Yeah, no, like in the air, I don't think there's ever been a better player. Like he jumps, and then he just like floats.
He hangs there. It's like watching Michael Jordan, right?
Oh, it's I've never seen anything like it. He jumps up. The defender jumps up at the same time.
Yeah.
And somehow he's like 2 feet higher
and this
after 2 seconds.
This is Godin we're talking about. He absolutely bossed Godin, who's he's no pushover. I mean, he's one of the best defenders in the world, and Ronaldo would just, floating, like a meter above him. It was ridiculous. But I understand why people want to point to one of them and say, "Oh, he is the best player ever." And it seems like this, as I mentioned in the beginning, this debate always pops up or heats up again after one of them has put in another incredible performance. I just don't understand why we have to put a label on it and say, "Oh, this guy is the best because this and this and that." I mean, why not just appreciate the geniuses of these two players and acknowledge the fact that we're so lucky as fans to witness both of them at the same time?
Yeah, I think that's the unusual part of this situation is it's not really normal in any sport to have two guys that every goal they score is a new record.
Yeah.
That's why this debate keeps coming up, because Messi has the edge this month, and then 2 months later Ronaldo scores 3 hat tricks in a row.
Yeah.
And now he's got all the new records. It's a very strange situation. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't really like having to pick a side. Just appreciating it is kind of enough for me.
I remember back when I was younger, and obviously I'm a Man United fan. So I've always had, I've always been fond of Cristiano Ronaldo, right? So naturally I've been biased towards him, and thus had a dislike for Lionel Messi, also because he's done some terrible things to Man United over the years. But over the last 5 years, I've just realized, this guy is just something else, and you gotta appreciate that on the ball. I have never seen anyone out there doing what Lionel Messi does. And we also have to, okay, he might not be as clinical as Ronaldo, and he is ice cold Messi. But everyone's talking about Maradona and Pele as the, Cruyff as the OG geniuses. But they will have had to be so mind-blowingly good that I really won't be able to comprehend it if they've been better than Messi.
Yeah, Messi. You watch Messi play, and it looks sometimes like he's playing against a bunch of little kids.
Oh yeah,
like it almost looks like the defender has no chance.
I think the
defenders, or like they're not even trying. He makes the defenders look like they're just not doing a very good job.
Yes. And that maybe the defenders also feel like little kids when they play against him. Because it must be must be terrifying watching this little man come running against you, full speed, complete control over the ball, and just somehow, all of a sudden, he's just not there anymore. He's just behind you. and you're wondering how the heck did this just happen? Because he's not doing all the fancy stepovers, right? He's just all about the little drop of the shoulder. He's gone. It's incredible how a man of his age, considerable age, is still so fast and so agile. And we talk about Messi as a natural, but he must be. I mean, I strongly believe that you can practice more or less everything and master most things with practice, but there are just some things with Messi that you can't explain.
Yeah, you know what else? It just made me think about this. I've seen a lot of interviews with players who have played with Messi and with Cristiano Ronaldo, and you ask any of those players who they think is the best, and they're always biased towards the guy that they've played with.
Yeah, that's true.
It seems to always be the case. I don't know. I think the majority opinion that I've seen lately seems to be more people seem to think that Messi is better, and I think in terms of just like a lot of people like to use Messi is like natural talent, and Cristiano Ronaldo is like all hard work and practice.
I don't like that, honestly.
I think that's a terrible argument.
Yeah,
because there's no amount of practice and lifting weights and there's nothing you could do to become Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, come on. It's also such a stretch.
Listen, Messi has worked so ridiculously hard throughout his career to become the man and the player he is today. He was such a small guy. Yes, he had the growth hormones and all that stuff, but that's not natural talent. That is working hard, enduring a lot of hardness and putting in the grind to overcome these obstacles to become what I would call one of the best players ever. Yes, I have also been gravitating towards Messi because, in I would say over the last couple of years, he has probably been a little bit more, should we say, flashy or well, as I said, visually appealing than Ronaldo in the sense that he still looks so like far and beyond everyone else's level. But still, this conclusion I reached with my friend the other day just made me realize, you know what, it's just so hard to tell. What is the defining factor of who's the best? I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know. But that is the fun part about watching Messi, because as much as he makes other people look like they just don't know what they're doing or they're just not very good, he also himself doesn't really ever look like he's trying too hard. It just, everything he does is just effortless. Which,
but does that make him the best player ever? Because I think we can all agree that technically and with the ball he's probably still a little better he is probably better than Ronaldo. I'm a little bit against putting my head on the plate here, but I think he is. End of discussion. But again, who would I take in an important match? Who would I trust with my life to score the important goal? And that would be Ronaldo. Every day of the week. Not saying I wouldn't mind Messi on the team. He would be a very good backup, so to speak. But Ronaldo always delivers, and isn't that also a sign of quality? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm with you on that. Every time, Messi is one of those players that will make something out of nothing. Like, there's not too many players ever in the history of the game that could just pick up the ball in their own half, and then all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. No, like it makes no sense. But Cristiano Ronaldo, every time, if he's anywhere near the 18-yard box and you give him the ball, there's a chance.
And that's the thing. You always know on the big occasions he's gonna score, right? Everyone said before the Atletico match, listen, I have a gut feeling that Ronaldo is gonna, put him through. And he did. Okay, I reckon actually Bernardeschi was the man of the match in the Atletico return leg. But, Ronaldo just...
you know what?
He did the job.
Just talking about that game, it was a funny game, right? Because the first goal was just a straight up goal, right? Mm-hmm. That was the header over Godin.
Yeah.
The second goal they called through VAR.
Yeah, goal line technology.
I guess that was a good call.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Right? That's a good call.
Yeah.
But then the penalty, I didn't see too many different angles of the penalty, but I thought that was a ridiculous call. He tripped himself. Yeah. It wasn't a penalty, right? He tripped himself.
Yeah, he was pushed from behind and but I think with the magnitude of the penalty, he should have at least had VAR look at it. and he didn't.
That's the funny part of that whole system. It's like, how do you give them that goal where I would say 99% of the time that's viewed as a save without any kind of goal line technology.
Yeah.
Right? And then not go and review the penalty and gift that. You know what? It almost, like, I don't want to say that it was gifted to Juve, but, and all credit to Ronaldo, there's a lot of pressure on that penalty.
Yeah.
But we talked about the VAR system and whether or not we liked it in a previous podcast episode. Yeah. And that, to me, just like, look, you have the system that's supposed to eliminate the flaws and the inconsistencies in the calls that the referee makes.
But when he actually makes a mistake, why is it not there?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
And it was the same in the Porto-Roma match. I mean, obviously, there was the whole debate about the Man United penalty. Obviously, I didn't mind at all.
I think it is, on paper, it's a penalty, right?
Yeah, but it's not
technically handball.
Like, with common sense. Nah, it's not a penalty.
That's unavoidable.
Yeah, I mean, did I care? Not one bit. But I mean, I would say as a football player myself, that's a very soft penalty. It's a very harsh call. Yeah. But then I watched the Porto-Roma match, right? They went into extra time. Porto get a penalty through VAR. It is a penalty. He's being pulled in the shirt. Ref goes out, reviews it, gives the penalty. They score. Fine. Then, like, literally 30 seconds before the final whistle, a Roma player is tripped in the Porto box. Like, he's getting caught from behind by the Porto player's leg. And it's a penalty to Roma. A vital penalty. They fired their manager the day after Monkey left after that match, after that failure, as they called it, because the referee decided to not go out and review it, even though he was being told, yo, dude, go out, check it out, see what you think. Like, something is still fundamentally flawed about VAR. And I can't say, it should all be some guy sitting in a room calling the shots, because that's not really the way I want to look at football anyway. But it's just, it's not really refined yet, is it?
No, I think people need to live with the human error aspect of the referee.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You can't, I don't know. I really don't like the idea of somebody chirping in his ear, telling him what to say or what to do based on replay. It can be good, but I think it's also proven at this point that, yeah, clearly they don't have the right review strategies set up yet to get everything 100% right.
Yeah. But I mean, back to Ronaldo, yeah, I didn't think it was a penalty either, but you just got to give it to him. He's there when it matters, and, obviously it was going to be him who took the penalty, and he slotted home. So I think just boiling down is that I'm just super, I would almost say, honored. It's a privilege for us as football fans to be able to watch these players grace the game with their genius. It might be genius on the ball. It might be genius in the sense of always just being there to score goals. But they're spectacular. They're, once in a lifetime players. We're probably never going to see players like these again. And we've had them for such a long time. So honestly, I would rather call it a tie and say, I don't actually want to point to any of them. I would just want to say thank you to both of them, because does it matter? Nah.
Although I do have a tiebreaker here.
Yeah.
Without Cristiano Ronaldo, we would never have that one kid on every team that does the classic Ronaldo free kick stance.
Okay, so Messi's the best of all time.
I got another hypothetical question here. Okay. You have to go play pickup.
Yeah.
You don't know anybody there.
Yeah.
You're gonna be all by yourself.
Yeah.
Would you rather wear a Messi jersey or a Ronaldo jersey?
Ooh.
Because I feel like every time, that's always the person I don't want to be. It's like the one shirt that's like, you just don't want to wear those shirts. In my opinion, that's always been my thing.
What would you choose here? I'm interested.
I feel like you're gonna get less hate with a Messi jersey.
Really? I was gonna say Ronaldo.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's also because I'm a Man United fan, so I would also just, justify with that and be done with it. Last tiebreaker here: which of the two players' boots would you go with?
Oh, I don't think there's any. Messi has had some decent ones over the years, but like if we're talking right now, the Mercurial is just far better.
I
in
agree.
my opinion.
I agree. I also like the Mercurial more than the Nemesis. With that said, this is the normal. I'm not making a point here, but the plate on the Nemesis colorways of the Messi colorways of the Nemesis. Wow, Jay, get your stuff together. The Gambit Tracks outsole on the Messi boots is one of my favorite outsoles out there because it has a perfect balance. So if I could take that and actually put it on a Mercurial, I would be very happy. But you're right.
It's not allowed, though.
No,
it's not allowed.
No, I know it's not. Sorry, Adi and Nike. Okay,
Collaboration coming soon.
where do we land on this? What's the conclusion? Because people out there want an opinion. They want like something to go out to their friends and say yes. But Josh and Jay said this, so I agree.
I think it's the same point you started with. If you're the manager of a club and you're in the Champions League final,
yeah,
and you get to pick one of those players to be on your team to have the best chance of winning.
Sure.
I'm probably going to pick Ronaldo.
But is he the best then?
No.
Okay, so let's cut it off here because A, we're not gonna come to a conclusion, and B, we're just boot nerds. So what? I mean, who are we to judge, right?
Yeah, no, it's impossible.
So
it's an impossible thing.
Being boot nerds, Josh, I reckon we should talk a little bit about something else that dropped this week. I got it right here with me. More gold for Zizou and Beckham. They're not entirely, and I'm sorry, David Beckham, I love you, but they're not entirely at Messi and Ronaldo's level, but they still got these pretty sweet Predator 19 pluses in gold and navy and red and silver, I guess.
All the colors.
What do you think?
You know what? I honestly don't think that they look that bad. I've always been of the opinion that the Return of the Predator, it's a pretty cool looking boot.
It is,
and
yeah.
I'm never going to be mad at metallic gold.
Metallic gold looks awesome. I'm just not sure that metallic gold and navy and red and metallic chrome looks like...
It's a lot. It's a lot going on for sure.
I understand the concept. I think it's a cool concept, but I mean, just, maybe not. Yeah. But yeah, it's gold. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
But I was, why wouldn't Zidane then wear this? Because you told me that when he was having his first training session in Madrid, he wasn't wearing neither this nor the actual remake of the Pred.
Yeah, I was a little upset about that. Yeah, he was wearing the, it's the blue ones. What are the blue ones called? I'm so bad at the pack names because there's too many packs now.
The Deadly Strike?
No, he was wearing the blue Predator 19.1.
Oh, the 19.1s. I thought it was 18. Okay, the blue one, that would be the...
It's the current pack, no?
Exhibit
pack,
okay,
yeah.
good, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember.
So many names.
Yeah, but
we're experts. We're boot nerds. We have it under control.
The pack names, I'm so bad at. I've always been bad at the pack names.
But I blame because they're just coming thick and fast. There's so many pack names now. It's just it's hard to keep track.
It's too many,
even for
us.
And
then the Phantom Venom, Phantom Vision.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Gosh, the amount of times I've screwed that up already.
But it was worse back with all the pure boots, the pure controls and the pure speeds and the pure agility. I don't know how many times I've messed that up in a video. And I've been sitting with a pure control and called it a pure speed or something else. I mean, it's ridiculous. X and Ace. You kidding me? Apparently my brain isn't able to split those two apart.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of like when the new year starts and you keep writing the old date.
Oh yeah. Just with and now you just have 4 things to mix up, and I mixed them up all the flipping time.
Yeah,
and I got called out on it. So apparently these guys on the other side of the screen are way better at that stuff than me. But we're experts. We've got this under control.
Yeah, always under control.
But pretty cool.
All right,
the new,
Jay.
okay. Sorry, I'm rambling. Hit me.
No, you want to get into some questions?
I love questions.
It's about that time.
Oh yes,
you love questions.
Let's do it.
I love questions too. Who's first, me or you?
I think you should go first.
Okay, no problem. Jacob Martin asks, now that you guys have had some time to fully test the new releases, what order would you place them in? And he's asking about the Puma Future, the Puma 1, the Venom, the Vision, the Vapor, and the predators. He also says etc., but we're going to cut it off at those 6.
6. Okay. That is a tough one.
So start from the bottom.
I
go
would
to the
probably
top.
then say. Oh yeah. What am I gonna say? I'm probably gonna say Vision, Predator. Future. What do we have left then?
1 Venom and Vapor.
Then I would probably say I'm gonna go controversial here. I'm gonna say Vapor 1 Venom.
Really?
Yeah.
So Venom at the very top.
Venom is my go-to match boot right now. And I know it sounds a little bit ridiculous because I've always been a Mercurial kind of guy, right? And I've always, stubbornly stuck with my Mercurials. But there's just something about the Venoms that feels so good on foot. The whole low profile thing, you feel so fast. It looks amazing. The striking element is solid. It's comfortable. I love the so sensationally grippy outsole because it's all chevron bladed studs. It's so powerful when you push off, and that really appeals to me. Obviously, I'm always gonna love the Vapor, but right now I'm gonna take the Venoms over them.
Wow!
But hit me up with your list.
I'm sold. I want Venoms now. No, I would go. Well, funny. I would put Predator at the bottom. Because I don't think the Predator's bad. I'm just not into the Predator right now. I don't know. It's not my thing. I would probably go Puma Future at number 5.
Okay.
I like the Future, but as time has gone on, I don't know that I like it as much as the previous variations.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Then I would probably go... Actually, you know what? Switch that. I'd go Predator, then Vapor, just because I'm not... The Mercurial's great, but I'm not really a Mercurial type of person.
At number 5, are you completely mad?
Yeah, I'm putting the Vapor at 5. Then I'm going Future. Then I'm going to go... I'm going to go Puma 1, but I'm going to cheat and I'm going to do the Puma 1 low because I really like the Puma 1 low.
Dude, have you been sliding on your boots on concrete again and fallen over and hit your head?
And then I'm going Venom, and then first pick would be Vision. So your last pick is my first pick.
Okay, fair enough. I knew the Vision was going to be higher up your list, but that would actually be your preferred boot right now, the Vision.
I really like the Vision. So I don't know. I think it's kind of horrendously ugly.
Yeah.
In most colorways.
Yeah.
But I really like the way that boot feels. I don't know.
Except for the new women's colorway. I have it right here. I can.
No, the new women's colorway looks sick.
It looks sick. Let me get it.
Show it.
Yeah. Just talk for a second. I'll go get it.
Yeah. So yeah, basically Jay, he's probably not going to watch this back, but he's clearly just a hater of the Phantom Vision. So if anyone from Nike is watching, you might want to get in contact with him and sort him out because I don't know what he's doing. Hey Jay.
Yeah, what's up? Don't believe a word he just said, guys. These are pretty cool. Women's pack here. I actually like it. The fun thing is that on the I would say tongue piece here, whatever we want to call it, it says Nike, the goddess of victory, which is cool because it's a women's colorway, and after all, it's named after a goddess. So,
which can we just clarify this for the people watching that because I've been to the UK, and they say Nike rather than
That's
Nike.
a European thing, and it's wrong.
It is. Thank you, Jay. That's all I wanted to say. So I just wanted that to be clear.
Yes, it's Nike because it's named after this Greek goddess of victory, obviously as it says in the boots, and she is called in English Nike. So not
okay, but Jay, according to the YouTube comment section, you don't say bikey, you say bike. So
yeah, but I mean. Okay, this argument, but also, but you also need to step up, Josh, my friend, because you say Puma and you say Adidas.
I know.
So
look, I can't. The Puma thing. I don't know. Not my thing. Not gonna say it.
Do you call like the actual cat? Do you also call that a Puma?
I'd say Puma.
Puma. But then why would you call it Puma then, the brand?
No, I'd say Puma both ways.
Oh,
I'm not changing my thing.
Oh, fair enough.
The way I say it, and then I would say it in Canada or the US, if you have just like a regular, no British accent type thing,
Yeah.
anyone that says Adidas, automatically you're like labeled as a weirdo, I think.
But that's what they're called.
It's just nobody says that here.
Okay.
That's like, if you ask 100 people how to say Adidas, they'll say Adidas.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just not a thing. I don't know. I'm stubborn on that.
Wow.
I guess.
But yeah, it's Nike, and this is what it looks like in the women's colorway for the Women's World Cup. Not that men can't wear it, because I've been rocking these actually, and I think it's the coolest looking colorway of the Vision by far. It actually makes the boot look kind of good, but still.
Even though it's your least favorite.
I just hate the dynamic fit color. I think it's so cheap and it just feels wrong and is in the way. And I mean, the silhouette would be cool if they just did this, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, I'm not a fan
Doesn't
of
need to be
that.
there.
But next question here from Mr. Awesomeness. I have a very important question. Hope this gets answered. And it did. Do you guys think that collared boots are dying, as most of boots coming nowadays are semi to mid-cut or even lower? And it's a fair question. I mean, is the Predator a high cut? I would probably argue yes, but I see where you're going.
I don't think they're dying. I think we're just seeing it's funny because the brands with this whole mid cut thing, they made that like the new crazy thing from like 2014 onward.
Yeah.
And then now any boot that doesn't come out that comes out that's not a mid, people are like, oh my gosh, it's not a mid. What is this? Yeah. It's like this new thing again.
So when you say mid, you mean boots with a collar, right? Because I would probably call them high cut boots, and then mid cut boots would probably high cut boot I would probably classify as the Predators, and that's
I don't know
about it, right? Mid cut
for me it's either collar or no collar.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're gonna start like specifying the height of the collar, which ultimately is meaningless in the feel and fit of the boot, anyways.
Let's talk collar.
That's
collar.
all.
I do think that there's a trend that we're gonna see more low cut collarless boots. I think it's slowly gravitating towards the low cut boots again, but I do also think that there's a place for high cut boots in the market, because there's so many of the guys growing up right now and becoming having more spending power so they can buy their own boots, that will have grown up with high cut boots, right? Collared boots. So I think it's always going to be a thing, but maybe we're going to see a trend gravitating towards low cut boots again. That's just my guess.
Yeah. No, I don't see collared boots going away, period. But yeah, I definitely think we might see a little bit less of them. It's going to be just all based on what companies can make as an interesting design. I think we're going to see a lot more collars, but the cuts and the shapes and the way that the collar looks is more so the variety we're going to get.
Yeah. I totally agree on that one. And look at the Future and the One, which is kind of a blend. It's just, for me, it could just as easily have been a really high low cut boot. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's all about the height, right? And where's the split? I think low cuts are coming back.
The One is probably the most unique of all the collared boots, because the lacing system actually gives you options all the way up the collar.
Yeah.
So there almost is like an ankle support lockdown aspect to it.
It's so great. I really love it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get as much lockdown because the upper is actually elasticated, so there's going to be a little bit of give, but still, I love it. It's really nice for the fit, so you can get a bit more of a tight fit around that area, which is typically a little more loose if it's just sitting there flapping. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people just need to understand that the collar, I mean, no brand has ever claimed it as like an ankle support element or anything like that. I know a lot of people who play on artificial grass like it because it does help to keep those little rubber pellets from getting in, which is great. But I think in reality, the collars on almost any boot, they could just as easily not have the collar and be exactly the same product.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty much just a design choice.
Oh, absolutely. Look at the Puma CC, the classic cuts, the low cut versions of their boots. I personally like them more. But they're just, basically they're more or less the same as the high cut boots.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
That answers that. Let's see. I got a good one here from Cameron McDonald. He asks, when hitting the pitch for a kick around, what do you guys carry in your soccer bag? And then he references the What's in the Soccer Bag videos that I make. He watches both of our videos basically, and he's just curious.
How much time do we have? Because I have a lot of shit.
Really? You carry that much stuff?
I carry around so much stuff you wouldn't believe. I know we've made all these videos. You've made those on your channel. We've made those, how to pack your bag for winter. And I put in a lot of stuff there, but it's just to make sure that people know everything that I would recommend you have in some sort of capacity, not necessarily in your bag every time you go out the door, but at home available to you. That's at least what I would like to have if I wasn't in the position I am where I try everything. But what I do carry is I always carry a minimum of 2 pairs of boots, often 3. Because I can change my mind on a match day. What do I want? What am I looking for? What's my mood like? And it sounds a little bit prima donna-like, but I always take at least a pair of FGs and a pair of AG boots, just in case. Of course, shin pads, ankle guards. I wear the Nike Hyper Strong ankle guards. Really like them. Grip socks. Whatever I feel like that day. Falke. Could be the Nike Grip socks. Socks Pro. There's so many good ones out there. The light guard socks are also really good. Towel, of course, some muscle gel. I have this amazing muscle gel from a company called Fidon Sport. It's called Fidon Race, and it's basically a gel that goes in to activate the little fibers in your muscles, and you feel like you're warmed up just like that when you put it on. It takes 5 minutes. And you should really wash your hands after you've applied it, because otherwise you scratch your balls and it's gonna hurt a lot. Take slippers, obviously some toiletries, and PST. I'm that guy. Protein bar, some fruit. My socks. Obviously, I wear my own team socks that I cut up. Man, I bring a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's a hardcore. That's a filled up bag.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not as I'm not like, if I'm just going to play some pickup at the park. I'm pretty simple. A big thing for me, like shorts and t-shirt, I'm not going to be too picky about it. Like that doesn't really matter that much. But compression shorts, if I can't have compression shorts, like I don't even want to try and run around.
We're getting too old.
It feels
man.
terrible.
Yeah.
It feels bad.
Yeah.
I don't like it. For boots, I'm with you. 3 pairs is pretty normal for me, where I'll usually have like 1 pair that I'm kind of in the process of testing and kind of liking right now, but I'm not confident that I'm going to feel comfortable for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'll have a backup pair that for sure I like, and then just whatever's been in my bag will probably be the 3rd pair.
Yeah.
Socks, I'm not big on grip socks. Like I'll wear the Nike grip ones, but those are barely grip socks in the grand scheme of things. Right. I don't like using the grip socks that much, just because I feel like it if I wear them once and I get used to it, I have to constantly have them. And I don't know. I don't feel the need to have them all the time, while I do like the way that they feel.
Okay, yeah.
Shin guards, I pretty much wear C6 if I'm wearing shin guards.
Same.
I'll wear the Storelli body shield leg sleeves.
Also
I really
good.
like.
Yep.
That's what I wear with that. Other than that, I'll always bring my own ball.
Okay.
And a pump.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I'm a ball snob. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I don't like showing up to play pickup and someone's got like a
crap ball,
$30 ball with no air in it.
What's your favorite ball?
I don't even want to play.
What kind of ball do you bring?
Usually I'll be in between a Merlin and a Champions League ball.
Okay. A Champions League ball. Really?
Or something from Select. Yeah, I don't mind. I'm not super picky. All the match balls for the most part I would say are pretty decent.
Don't you reckon the new Champions League ball, the new finale, the orange one, and also the blue is terribly slippery?
It is a little slick. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I like the way that it comes off. Like it's not. It seems to me that it feels a lot lighter than most of the match balls out there right now. But no, I'm not. I don't really have too many problems with it.
I absolutely hate coating they have on it, or if it's a more matte coating. I don't know what they've done to it, but it feels a lot more slick and slippery, and there's not as much grip, in my opinion, at least, or experience, as the Connect, for instance, or the what was it called, the World Cup ball? I've forgotten it. Telstar, of course, Telstar 18, and all the the Women's World Cup ball, all that stuff. I generally like those, but you said the magic word, Select, or Derby Star, which is basically the same thing as a Select ball. For me, it's just the best ball out there. Always take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Champions League ball just needs ACC. That's all.
See, that's why you rock with the Merlin.
That's all. It just needs ACC.
What kind of
fixes everything.
Interesting question here. What kind of base layer do you usually go with? Obviously, some compression shorts.
Like upper body base layer?
Yeah. Do you go with that?
Or just no? Usually not.
Okay.
I've had little stints where I did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I in the summertime, I'm not. I don't feel the need to wear a base layer to stay cool. I feel like it's just more material.
Sure,
it makes me feel even hotter.
I'm with you.
In the wintertime, absolutely, I'll wear it.
Yeah.
Because I'm always freezing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in general, I won't really wear too many base layers. Yeah, I'm not too picky. As long as I have boots that are comfortable and decent socks.
Yeah.
And compression shorts, those are my big things.
All right, yeah. I don't sound too good now after all the stuff I put in my bag. I can. That's how it goes. I think we have time.
I also pack a blender and a whole bunch of fruits.
Bring my couch and all that stuff.
I also bring my pad, so because the bench it's a little bit hard.
Oh yeah.
After about 20 minutes. Yeah. So it's just for my own comfort.
All the hemorrhoids you're running around with. It's not good to sit on the bench too much. All right, I think we got time for one more question here from MB10HD. He has like 4 small questions in one question. Super quick fire here. Danny Alves wearing Neymar's signature boots and training against Man United. Do you know why? Good question. Probably because Neymar's injured. Nike really wants someone to wear them. Danny Alves is Neymar's great friend. He's playing in a big match. Why not slap him on him?
Also, Nike pays Danny Alves to wear Nike boots.
Exactly, so they can do whatever they want.
But yeah.
2, can another player wear a player's signature boots? Yes. He did.
I can confirm this is possible.
It's not like Danny Alves' feet actually fell off the first time he tried it. And it was like, dude, no, that can happen. Yeah, it's been a thing for many years. I don't think it's. I think it's pretty cool. Like they're homies, and Neymar can't play, so why not give it his best friend? But that's a rare. It is a rare instance of having such a big name player wear another signature. I know
athlete's footwear.
There's always been James McLean
when you
rocking Ronaldo boots. That's been pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's not.
He's not Danny Alves. Yeah, true. But yeah, it's physically possible, I would say, and I actually don't mind. I think it's pretty cool. It was a cool little gimmick. Number 3, when will Adidas bring back Messi's signature boot, or will they launch a 5th line called Messi? I don't think that's ever going to happen again. Didn't really work out that well, so I think we might see some Messi color drops here and there, but I don't think it's going to be that big. Maybe like the Ronaldo drops. I don't think it's gonna. It's not gonna take off from here because Messi's star is only gonna slowly as he gets older fade a little bit.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense for them to do the signature color once in a while thing, rather than always have a new Messi boot. Because again, I think at this point they've proven that.
Yes.
People don't seem to like it that much.
Exactly. And then there's a question 4. Will you ever open a football store like Unisport? I'm pretty sure that's directed at you because we have one at Unisport.
No. Probably not.
No. What would you call it if you opened a store? Josh's Soccer Store 3000. You can take that name. I'll only take 10%.
No. It's a good name, but you can keep your name.
Okay.
I would probably call it. It would have to have like ACC in the name, though. I'd be the only soccer store, football store to have ACC.
ACC Soccer Store 3000.
Yeah. So like, here's the concept. I don't know about the name, but here's the concept. You open the store.
Yeah.
And then how like every building has like the little sprinklers in case there's a fire.
Yeah.
But it sprays ACC at all moments of the day.
constantly, all the time. And it's going to be the cheapest
time.
system ever because it's just like, they're just there.
Yeah. So you're going to leave my store and you'll come out and you're waterproof.
Or you can also
or whatever ACC does.
You can also just have like a storefront. You don't even need to have a store. You can just say, this is the ACC store, and people just can't get in. It's just going to repel people. Probably a pretty bad business idea, but it's pretty fun.
Horrible.
Okay, I'll go into thinking mode for the next podcast because I think that kind of concludes this week's episode.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so remember, guys, as Josh said in the beginning, please go on and support our journey towards whatever number we're aiming for. I mean, we're just trying to grow, get the spread the word.
1 million.
1 million. We're looking for that 1 million. Go and subscribe if you want to see these weekly podcasts, or if you want to hear them, there's the audio-only version of the podcast. You can find the link in the description. You can also just go to www.bootnerds.com and find the link to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Well, you can find it there. Also, don't forget, if you want to see what Josh is up to on a daily basis, you can follow his channel right over there. Help him in his journey towards 1 million. You can also see what we're up to. Help us in our journey towards 2 million by subscribing over here. And finally, the button is in the middle, right over there. Go subscribe to the Boot Nerds podcast. And I think that's it. Signing off. Cheerio.
Cool. Thanks for watching.
Later. Later. Classic.
Great. Let's